for me is a name that's redolent of suffering. And now, of course, a name from the past, the name of the kind of character I all too often find myself writing about. Aging aunties, denizens of retirement homes, old people on their last legs, the personnel very often of the kind of streets I've been recalling, and whose idiom and way of talking and thinking derived from living in such streets. So, when such characters have to be christened, the occupants of the cots in old people's homes given names, I tend to choose them from suitably old-fashioned stock. Frank, Harold, Alice, Nora, names of the period. Except that the personnel of these geriatric scrap heaps is beginning to alter. Ranged in vacant rooms or stood immobilised by a radiator, these shrunken creatures still answer to Hannah, Arthur, Peggy or Bill, and one of the ways the young think they're safeguarded against the fate and future of their grandparents is by their names. Sharons don't suffer from dementia, or Damians from incontinence. And if the old ones can think at all, they must wonder if it's their names that are part of the trouble. They've been called the wrong thing, that's what's the matter. His names like Frank or Norman, Ernest or Gilbert, they're already weighted in the direction of the grave. Jeremy's don't fail as they have failed. Piss doesn't trickle unheeded down a Nicky's leg. And if a Darren dies, it's in a motorway pileup, not a sunshine home. But not for much longer. Soon, the listless watchers by the radiator will be Melanie and Karen, Lee and Sandy Louise. The trumpet has not yet sounded for Trevor, but it will. In a TV play of mine called Rolling Home, there's a scene in which the middle-aged children of a father dead in the old people's home are coming away carrying his meagre possessions, just as the matron is welcoming a new arrival from the ambulance. "Hello," she says brightly. "Welcome. You're our first Kevin." They're cheaper names now, the new ones. Fluorescent names, fit for name tags or laminating on plastic, not to be carved in stone or inscribed by a proper signwriter as the old names were. You can dissolve them, these new names, sponge them away, whereas my grandma's name, Mary Ann Peel, was marked on every cell of her body. Of course, some names will not seem to change at all. There are Joes in homes and Joes in playgroups, and Jacobs too. But though it will take a lifetime, the young Joes and Jacobs will, in due course, come along to take their namesakes' places, shuffling the dominoes, gazing vacantly at a plate of mince. There will be new Hannahs too, Emilys, though the second wave of Emilys will come from higher up the social scale, just as an old Jacob is not the same as a new Jacob, not just because the new Jacob prefers to be called Jake. The old Jacob, like the old Joseph, was shabby and vaguely biblical. The new Jacob is secular and smart. The name has been sanded down and all its biblical varnish gone. Some names, though, will not come round again. The Dorises are going, for instance, and the Hildas. And how many boys now get called my father's name, Walter? I can just about imagine a baby called Mabel, but it would turn out the name drawer to christen their child Edna. But coming up the road are the Deans and the Darrens and the Waynes, and they too shall fail. It won't be long before even Tiffany is a grandmother, and her cot got ready in the corner. Her children, middle-aged and vaguely resentful, come and sit with her on Sunday afternoons, while she tries to remember who they are and who she is. "You're Tiffany, Mother, and this is your little granddaughter." And what will her name be?